Hey guys, what's up? It's I'm Amazing. In this week's video, I am interviewing my director of Watch on the Rhine, and I'm super excited about it. And I have a couple questions for you.
Hi.
What does the director do?
So I kind of see it as having two jobs. One of the jobs is just on a very basic line-by-line and moment-by-moment basis to decide where people go on stage and how they say the things that they're going to say. But there's also a component that's about deciding really what the play is about and making those choices about blocking and lines based on the broader thematic choices.
What is the first play you've ever directed?
I think the first full-length play I directed was in college. I directed Gianni Schicchi, which is an opera by Puccini. I think that was the first one.
Tell me about Watch on the Rhine and why you chose it for this play.
Sure. So Watch on the Rhine is about the Farrelly family, who's an American family living near Washington, D.C. in 1940, before the U.S. joined World War II. And they're, all things considered, they're pretty liberal, they're pretty anti-fascist, but they ultimately don't think that the rise of Nazism in Europe really affects them as Americans. And the play is basically about how they come to find that that's not true. The adult daughter of the family, who in the story is Emma's mother, she comes home with her German husband, who, as is revealed in the course of the play, is a resistance activist and comes into conflict with a Nazi-sympathizing houseguest of the family. It's basically about how this conflict between fascists and anti-fascists is going to come into your home too. You have to be able to take a side about that. And I chose it because I really like it. I read it and I thought that I really like how it's written. I like how it starts structurally as kind of this comedy and then develops into something that's really quite intense and dramatic and interesting. And very, very relevant in these times, of course. And I also I'm always looking for plays that fit into our shtick of doing classics, but also that are by women writers and minority writers. So that's why I Watch on the Rhine.
How is this play so important after 17 years?
I think because even though it is very located in a particular time, even though it is located in the early 40s, I think that its themes of not being a bystander are still very relevant, whether to political conflicts or even to interpersonal conflicts. I think that there are ways in which the theme of not being a bystander when people are being hurt manifest even in this play in ways that don't have anything to do with Nazis. And I think that that's important to consider in any conflict, even 70 years after the play was written.
What would you say to someone who wants to start directing?
I think that read plays and watch plays and decide where you think that you don't agree with how directors have handled them. Honestly, maybe this is a weird thing to say, but some of my favorite plays I've never directed and I don't really want to direct right now because my directing often comes from, I don't get this element, or I have a problem with this element, so I need to shape it until it works for me. Or I've seen 2 or 3 productions of this play and I don't agree with how that director did it. I want to do it my way. So I definitely think a big component of being a director is let yourself critique other people, because at least in my experience, a lot of productive work for me comes out of saying, I would do this differently. It's not the be-all and end-all, but I personally find it really useful.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you.
Alright guys, like, subscribe, and stay amazing. Bye guys.